In this, we still have glucose, but you are adding up an alternative energy. So it's becoming a double burden to the body to clear the glucose and clear the ketone bodies. But in ketosis, we don't have the glucose, and therefore we are turning to alternative sources of energy, which are healthy for you. So they'll produce ketone bodies that can be converted into energy to help you recover, to help you survive. And these are the best energy sources when they're used on your own without the glucose. So the reason why you're going into DKA is because you have high levels of glucose, and then you're adding high levels of ketone bodies. But if you're fasting, let's say like people who are starving also, you're getting into ketosis because you're actually changing the energy mechanism from glucose intake or carbohydrates to now breaking down fat. So actually this trains your body to tap energy sources that are in the fat, and this is very important for your survival. Okay, so that is the difference between the two. Now, in summary, basically what I'm saying is DKA is a life-threatening condition of diabetes type 1, sometimes type 2, and is characterized by hyperglycemia, ketosis, and acidosis. So ketosis will lead you to acidosis, and therefore you'll get all the symptoms that I mentioned about DKA. On the other hand, ketosis is just a normal physiological mechanism that provides you energy alternatively to glucose intake. So if you don't have glucose intake, then you turn to ketosis to get energy. So that is the difference. So do not confuse the two. Now, as I end this video, there is a portion that is also an emergency or an emergency situation in type 2 diabetes, and that we would call HHS. It is called hyposmolar hyperglycemic state. Now, HHS is actually similar to DKA, only that in HHS, we do not have ketone bodies. So we do not break down fat to get ketone bodies. If they're there, they are very minimal. So in this one, there is always a rise in blood sugar levels to a level that is 33.0, maximum of 33.0 millimoles per liter. That is very high, okay? So HHS is actually a serious medical emergency. Now, funny enough, HHS is managed in hospital as an inpatient, and the same way we manage DKA is the same way we manage HHS through insulin therapy, through rehydration and all that, okay, and electrolyte balance. So it is the same. However, this is for type 2 diabetes, okay, and the characteristics of this is severe dehydration. So these people come with very severe dehydration, and they're even going to kidney failure because of that dehydration. They will come with a high levels of blood sugar. If you test their blood, they have like almost 33.0 millimoles per liter of this blood glucose. That's a high amount. And remember, hyperglycemia, which is basically also hyperinsulinemia, will cause you kidney problems, is affecting your brain, is affecting your nerves, is affecting your heart, it's affecting your muscular function. So generally, sugar is dangerous, and sugar levels of 33 are super high, and that is one characteristic of HHS. Then again, is altered mental state. That's why when these people come confused or irritable, this is because you're altering their function of the brain, and also you're altering their nerve function. So HHS is a type 2 emergency. DKA is a type 1, but sometimes type 2. But this one is based on type 2, okay? And this is because of insulin resistance, and this is also because of insufficient production of insulin, and again, also as a result of dietary carbohydrate intake. So you can realize, you can already start to imagine how bad sugar and carbohydrate in your diet is. We do not have any essential carbohydrates. The way we have essential proteins and amino acids, essential trace elements and minerals, and essential fat, we do not have daily minimum requirement of carbohydrates. So when we tell you to drop carbohydrates or to concentrate on complex carbohydrates, it's because we understand that complex carbohydrates will be broken down slowly, and therefore they will not cause insulin resistance or a rise in or a spike in insulin levels. But if you keep consuming those processed foods and those simple carbohydrates, then chances of you getting into HHS are very high, because once you get into insulin resistance, then this is will start to end soon.